Today on Better Kansas City.
And creating the right lighting in your home can change the mood in an instant. We'll show you how to get better lighting coming up. Better Kansas City starts right now.
Hey, whether you want a vibrant atmosphere or kind of a calm one, lighting can completely set the mood for your home. Tam Stone with Tam Stone Interiors, right. Yeah, I'm reading a camera that's like halfway across the room here. Basically, Tam is here to show us how to light your home. Here's what I know about lighting. You walk over to the wall, you flip a switch, the light comes on, and then I get yelled at when the light bulb burns out, I have to change it. I don't know anything about lighting a home, so start from the very beginning with me, Tam.
Okay, the first thing is that natural light is the kind of the perfect light, so you want to try and make that as optimal as you can. It sets our mood, it sets how we feel, our productivity, everything else. So really looking at your natural light is critical, how it comes into a room, and then you use your electrical light to fill spaces where there's dark spots, to accent, to use for tasks, etc.
So the natural light's as simple as just opening up the blinds?
Yeah,
just
yes.
Letting some light in? Yeah.
Northern exposures will have different light than your southern exposure or eastern exposure of your home. And so, for example, if you have a particularly dark room, you might want to use more light walls because it will bounce and reflect the light, as well as more glossy surfaces that reflect light. If you have too much light coming into a room, which can be a problem just as well, then you need to use things like carpeting, which will absorb the light, as well as darker colors like maybe your deep reds, deep greens, etc.
Sure.
So.
All right, now let's get to the artificial light here.
Yeah.
Show me the different kinds and then basically the purpose for each.
Okay, you have three kinds. You have general, you have accent lighting, and you have task lighting.
General?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
General lighting is kind of your overhead lighting. This is going to be your chandeliers. It's going to be your recessed lighting in the ceiling. And so what you have to be careful of, and I have a little bit of a demonstration to show what light can do, so we're going to hopefully this will work with the studio light.
I'll be the guinea pig.
But if you put a light directly above your head, it's going to cast kind of harsh shadows down on your face.
Sure.
Just like if you have it from below, and if you remember when you're like a kid, you go through with a flashlight through the, horror show. You want something that's kind of angled that gives a diffused light.
Sure.
Sometimes recessed lights can give a harsh direct light down.
And those are the can lights from above?
Yeah, and this one is actually quite small. If you have the cottage cheese ceiling, you can replace them out with these smaller ones so that you don't have so many holes in your ceiling. But I often use track lighting to kind of deflect through a recessed light, which allows it to pool a little bit more instead of be direct.
Well, typically I thought that these spots were basically to highlight areas on the wall, like I have a painting that I want to see.
Yeah, no, you can, and that's often they are used as an accent light so that you can actually create a focal point out of something. But keep in mind, it can also diffuse light. So that's a different way to use it.
So a second option.
Second option, exactly. And then I've got a couple of other things here. These are more like accent lights that would allow you to illuminate under a cabinet, say. You wouldn't want this to show, but you could have it inside a china cabinet to illuminate what's in there, or underneath cabinetry to show, what's underneath that you're working on.
Right.
Same thing with these kind of little puck lights. So there's lots of options out there that are really easy to have installed and to create accents. One of the things that we have today that was not as much of an issue in the past is, as everyone knows, these nice incandescent bulbs are going out.
They are. I still have quite a few of those in my closet.
Yeah, and we stocked up on some. I hate to say it, but the new options are much more efficient. You have halogen lighting, LED lighting, etc. But
so what's in this one right now?
That one is actually a halogen light.
Is that right? Well, it's putting out quite a bit.
It will cast a far more true color. This is a softer color. It will create a softer light in a room, where a halogen and an LED will create a much more true color in the room. But as you can see, and hopefully this will show up, there you can see the vein of the harp on here. There we go. You can actually see it. And so that was not an issue with incandescent lighting. So this more clear, true lighting picks up everything.
So small little nuances like this. So basically what I would want to do is I would want to take this and spin it this way
exactly.
to the center of the room.
Exactly,
Okay.
so that you can, hide those kind of things. But the new lighting is going to take a little bit of getting used to for us, but it's obviously much more energy efficient. And the main thing is don't forget things like your candles and other ways to, the more directions you have light coming from, the more pleasing the space will be.
Fantastic.
So don't rely on one.
What I like about this is that it's not a real candle, that's an artificial candle.
That is.
And I've seen those things, and you know what? When you first look at it, you'd never know the difference.
No, you can't tell the difference. Much safer. And obviously, if you inadvertently leave it on, it's not a big deal. The battery just goes down. You don't have a fire in your home.
We do know what kind of issues can happen if you leave those things going, and it's real for too long.
Right.
Tam, thank you so much, and
Yeah, great.
thanks for straightening out the whole lighting world. Let's see what Alexis is up to.